The Moist Meter is a proud partner of our comic book series GODSLAP and Plague Seeker. Both are available at badegg.co, link in the description. I imagine you all can guess why I'm so sweaty right now. I just got home from watching the new Fast and Furious movie, and the testosterone that was pumping through my veins watching that bad boy had me perspiring like a Redditor on OnlyFans. What a journey. I felt like the movie turned the NOS canister in my soul at full blast. Had me, fucking firing into the theater seats there. I saw it in an empty theater. I went to a little matinee today at 2:30 p.m. and no one else was there. I felt insulted on behalf of the whole family behind the movie. You know, how could you show such disrespect and not show up to Fast and Furious at every single showing throughout opening day? But regardless, I think that is just despicable behavior. There's just some swine out there that can't appreciate high-quality art like Fast X. I can. But honestly, the serene masculinity that washed over me in this completely barren, empty theater was actually wonderful. I feel like it was the optimal experience. It felt so personal, as if I was able to connect better with all of these very well-rounded, beloved, deep characters. It felt as though Dominic Toretto lunged out from the screen, opened up his arms, and invited me, Charles, to suckle on his bosom, and then pulled out a chair at the barbecue and handed me a Miller Lite to join the family. And it felt good. The film is exactly what you're expecting. Fast and Furious is a franchise that just keeps trying to ramp up the ridiculousness. It started with Fast 5, and it's never let off the gas pedal since. So they've had, of course, like the nuclear submarine shooting into space, all of that shit. This one, once again, tries to go fucking hog wild, and it does. But I will say, this doesn't have any of those moments. Like Fast 5 has the vault, the space launch, the submarine, all of that, iconic moments. This one doesn't have anything like that. Instead, the whole film has moments similar to those moments, but nothing like one particular instance. The biggest scene by far is kind of an homage to the vault scene from Fast 5, where instead of a vault going through the city and like blasting through cars and people and shit, it's a giant bomb that's rolling around Rome and about to blow up the Vatican. And it's hype, like it's cool, and that's all these movies are about. It's very self-aware, it knows it's cheesy, it knows it's ridiculous, and it embraces that with a smile on its face. And I appreciate it. I definitely did have fun and giggled to myself at the absolute outrageousness of a lot of the scenes. But even with that being said, there are some things that are just downright shit in the film. There's just some awful moments that had me roll in my eyes. But before getting into that, let's talk about some things that I enjoyed. I liked Jason Momoa's character. He plays Dante. This isn't a spoiler, it's in the trailer for the movie. He's the son of the big bad from Fast 5, and he's out for revenge. The very cookie-cutter, formulaic Fast and Furious plotline, every single person in the world is out for revenge on Dom in some way. The entire criminal underworld wants to fuck Dom in the face and his whole family because they don't like him. Or he's done something to someone that is somehow connected to them, because everyone in the Fast and Furious universe is connected to Dom. He's like Genghis Khan, where Genghis Khan populated half of the planet or something during his heyday. That's Dominic, but with criminals. Every criminal in the world somehow ties back to Dom in some way. For example, in this film, Dominic goes across the fucking world and somehow runs into someone that is related to someone that Dominic used to fuck. So, the Toretto DNA is spread very far across the globe. He is this singularity that pulls everyone in that universe towards him. Which is, of course, goofy and fun, but regardless, let's get back on track. The main villain, Jason Momoa, son of the big bad, wants revenge. He was a cool character. This is a Jason Momoa I've never seen before. He really tried to channel some kind of Joker character for it, and it was so silly that I loved it. He just goes really outrageous with the whole performance. He'll be like, Dom, you ever heard of Mozart? Well, you best start believing in ballet, Dom, 'cause you're in one. And then he starts busting out ballet moves and then directs a sniper to start shooting at him. There's even a Joker moment where Dominic's beating the shit out of him, pops one of his teeth out, and he's like, ha 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 ha, Dom, you're punching me just the way I wanted you to punch me. Have you ever heard of birds, Dom? Do you know birds like he just like comes up like the stupidest shit, and he's always talking to like he talks to corpses. He's very quirky. He's the quirk master, and it's so stupid, like in the best way. It's very clear Jason Momoa is just having as much fun as possible. Like he stabs someone and then starts like sucking on the blood like a popsicle. It's so dumb, but I really liked it. There's even moments where he reminds me of Maximilian Pegasus from the first season of Yu-Gi-Oh! Because for some reason Dante, that's Jason Momoa's character, calls him Dami Boy constantly, just like Pegasus where he calls Yugi Boy. Like, I was half expecting him to trap his family soul in a fucking Yu-Gi-Oh card in this movie. It was so fucking ridiculous. But yeah, I thought he was cool. Well, cool is probably not the right word. I thought he was fun. But yeah, of course, the bread and butter of Fast and Furious is its action. This is filled to the brim with action. But man, I've got to tell you, even suspending disbelief, it is really frustrating how every single enemy is this, like, armored to the gills, tactical monster. Like the fucking juggernaut from Modern Warfare 2. And yet, they're still just punching them in the face. Like, with their helmet on. Like, Dominic and his friends just punch their helmet over and over, and somehow that's incapacitating them. What the fuck is the point of the helmet if it can't even block a punch, or stop you from getting hurt from a punch? It's crazy how often that happens. Like, they're not even getting shot most of the time. They're just getting, like, punched and kicked in the legs, and like, oh shit, my leg! And they're dead. Like, every single henchman here is just one sneeze away from being defeated. Like, there was never any stakes in this film. Obviously, it's Fast and Furious. Everyone's got plot armor. Everyone's got God mode turned on. They're all fucking invincible, surviving the most ridiculous shit. And they never miss a shot, and their punches can shatter diamonds. Which is fine, but just stop putting them in armor. It's so fucking dumb. Like, that actually kind of grinded my ass a little bit. And then another thing I really didn't like is its reliance on flashbacks. So they'll take you to, like, Fast and Furious 5, and they'll show you a scene that we've all seen and enjoyed, and then they'll be like, but did you know Dante was right here? And it's the same scene, but then Dante's in the background, like, fucking smoldering. And then they'll do that 20 times throughout the film. And then when they took the vault, Dante was in the bathroom in this stall. And he opens the stall door. Like, they just keep doing these flashbacks to these moments as if, like, Dante was there the whole time, and it's really goofy. And then they'll do that for other characters. And then someone you thought was not there was actually there in the stall next to Dante. And then Dante opens the stall door, and then the stall door next to him opens, and it's like the other guy. So it's like, we got you. Like, it's supposed to be this eureka moment that catches everyone off guard, and it's just an ass pull. Like, I have no doubt this whole film's production was all of the action. Let's write all of the action. Ah, shit. Now we have to have some kind of story. All right, we'll just make it up as we go. Because that's what it feels like half of the time this film's running. It gets a bunch of different plot lines going in different directions that introduce all sorts of problems that don't get solved and don't have any real reason to even exist in the first place. And then they'll just come out of nowhere with some kind of half-baked explanation or, like, some kind of goofy motivation that ties back into a flashback. It's pretty fucking dumb. Like, even for Fast and Furious standards, the story's pretty fucking stupid. But that's fine, because who cares, right? Again, no one's going to Fast and Furious for a profound, thought-provoking story or character piece. But yeah, I do want to point that out. And I also do appreciate that they tried to bring street racing back in. There is a whole street racing scene, like, but it doesn't work super well. It's kind of cringy a little bit. But I do like that they tried to bring in some street racing. They've done that before as well, but here they really gave a spirited attempt, but I don't think they really landed it all that well. Because the street race doesn't last very long, and I don't think it was very interesting. But I like that they gave it a whirl. Because I still think the street racing component of Fast and Furious was really special and really fun. But I do still like the over-the-top nature of what it's become. Anyway, there's not a whole lot to really digest and dive into. You get exactly what you're expecting. A whole cast of fucking Avengers, superhuman superheroes with cars, fucking blowing up helicopters with cars, using cars like there's some kind of, like, aircraft almost. All kinds of high-tech weaponry that looks like Jimmy Neutron designed it in a shed. So you have like this makeshift plane out of 5 pieces of wood that John Cena flies around on. It's craziness. And that's what you want with Fast X. But if you're someone that really doesn't care for the direction Fast and Furious has been going with trying to one-up itself with over-the-top action jumping the shark, you're going to hate this movie. Plugging it into the moist meter, I'm just going to give it a nice 70%. I had fun. I think most people have fun if you go in there with the right expectations and the right mindset. They're just gonna shove popcorn in your face and have a good laugh and a good time. Like that's that's what it's all about with Fast and Furious, and I think it delivers. Man, some of the dialogue though is awful. Let me point that out real quick. There are some horrible stinkers of lines in this film. Like I really feel like some chat GPT generated lines at moments in here. But anyway, yeah, overall fun film. That's really about it. See ya. Huge thanks to ourselves for sponsoring this Moist Meter. GODSLAP is a comic series written by myself, Jackson, Matt, Danny, and Aubrey Sitterson. It follows the story of a character named Ace, who's an extremely powerful slapper in a world where slapping is king. Issue 3 just dropped. It's all available at badegg.co, and shit is starting to pop off. Ace is being hunted by a mysterious foe named Defister, who, after swan diving through a hospital, picks up Ace's trail and hunts him to the ends of the earth with his sidekick Olfactor. And also, our newest comic series, Plague Seeker, just came out. Issue 0 is available at badegg.co. It's written entirely by myself and edited by Jackson. It's set in a world 1,000 years after an apocalyptic event known as the Calamity. An asteroid hits Earth, and it brought with it mutations that changed all of its inhabitants. Now the world is infested with things called plagues, and atop the food chain sits 8 great plagues that control the entire world, and only one man stands against them, the Plague Seeker, who has an insatiable appetite to devour those 8 great plagues. So all of this is available at badegg.co, so please check it out. See ya.